Yo, bienvenidos, power bottoms.
Wow, that was an introduction.
Thanks. It's my
I'm
cold
dancing
open.
away. I'm like dancing away, like I'm doing this, like with our song, a little song, and you're like, you killed it. That's amazing.
Yo, my dick itchy. How you
Oh my
doing, man?
god, I'm good. How are you, man? Good to see you.
I know
Been
it's
a
been. I
while.
feel like it's yeah. There's like we usually do a good job of keeping in contact, but there's some weeks where it's like it's not a whole lot, and it's
I
almost
think
like the week feels so long.
this week was weirdly just busy for me. Like I was doing a lot. I worked a lot too. Obviously, I was promoting. I was working a lot, doing a lot of stuff for the Suicide Squad. Which, if you watch the commercial on TV right now, you can see my quote:
Yeah,
"Mayhem,
it's also on your
mayhem."
Instagram if you want to check that out. You'll see
Hmm.
Jimmy's name on TV
Yeah, you can see it. It's
under
fun.
isn't it under Idris Elba?
No, it's Idris Elba and John Cena, I believe, and it's just this huge. My quote is massive. This fire
Because
mayhem.
of the way you worded it. So they're like, this is
Yeah,
the perfect quote. Yeah.
it's funny because in one of my, I think it was my review, someone commented they're like, if they don't use, the masterpiece of mayhem, they're crazy, and of
Yeah, then
course.
fuck him.
Yeah, and they did, and I'll be honest. Okay, let me talk a little bit about quotes because there's such a weird look. We all know sometimes you see these commercials and you're like, you didn't like the movie that much. Come on. Like when you see movie like the best movie ever made, that kind of
Yeah,
stuff, or
every movie has that shit.
and they look. There's a lot of times they'll take they usually get your permission, and they usually like with that quote I was like, no, that I'm not saying, it is probably my favorite film of the year, legit, but I so far at least, but like I literally was walking out of the movie thinking, well, fuck, that was a masterpiece of mayhem. That's what I did.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
I
you
no
know
I
what? It's
legit
like
thought
here's
it was
the
a great
thing.
phrase.
If you want unbiased, authentic movie reviews, which let's be honest, is kind of hard to come by sometimes,
Sometimes.
just check out Joe Blow.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that
No,
what this is
absolutely.
all about? This is
Look,
all an ad.
I really do look. When I write a review, I try to like just I go in wanting to like what I'm gonna watch all the time, and like I don't look necessarily for quotes. I don't think I'm that great of I'm not that great of a critic that I'm like, oh no, we have to use his quotes because he's so brilliant. No, that's not me. I speak from the heart. I see what I like and see what I don't like, and I'm I think I'm a fairly kind critic, as we all know from
Dude,
Peninsula.
I saw your review of Fast 9 and that shit made me laugh out loud because but it's also why like I do respect you as a critic because it's like it really is true to form, true to like what you're saying. Like it's
Mm,
like I'm just being honest. And
mm,
normally you don't, even if a lot of times when you see a critic, um even if you can tell they don't really like a movie, they still
mm.
maybe fence right a little bit and try to give as much credit. You're just like, this movie fucking sucks. like
Mm, yeah, it was
I'm
like,
like,
look,
okay,
I even say in the review, look, this is my opinion. That's it. That's all that is.
sure.
So, like, I know people. Our other critic reviewed Fast Nine. He really liked it. He liked it.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
mean, a lot of
it's
people do.
a lot of people do. I made a lot of money, and there's nothing wrong with that. We got to get past this bullshit. It's way too common in fucking fan circles and critics. We're like, oh, the critics and the Rotten Tomatoes is evil. No, it's fine. Just if you don't like it, don't read it. Don't go on it. If you don't like a critic, don't read them. And if someone doesn't like a movie, okay, it's not gonna fucking kill you. It's not gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
It's if like, dude, my favorite movie of all time, one of them obviously is Mad Max Fury Road. I love that movie. When people tell me they don't like it, I'm like, wow, really? Because it was generally well liked, but I'm not like, well, go fuck yourself then. Go go, you're stupid. I bet you like bad movies. I'm like, just shut up. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Or like when these people, though these remakes and sequels coming out, you see these
Yeah.
people that are like, this, like the new Space Jam. That's like the one right now. And people are like, this
Yeah.
fucking ruins my childhood. And it's like, how? The original one still exists, and it's still exactly the same. It's not affecting the original at all, and you can still watch that one whenever you want, and then not watch the new one at all if you don't like it. It's not ruining anything.
No, that's one of the most annoying comments. And I look, I know like people get really passionate, especially with what they saw as a kid, but yeah, it doesn't ruin your childhood. It doesn't change. It doesn't completely, Space Jam, the new one doesn't come out and suddenly it all evaporates like into the internet. Like you can never watch the original again. And I saw that and I reviewed that. I did interview the director and I didn't review it because I did the interviews. And honestly, like I went in with a friend, like a buddy of mine. I'm sitting watching it with him, and he loved the original, and he really enjoyed the new one. And he was like, there were a lot of things he really liked. And I was just seeing it to interview the director. So like to me, I'm like, well, I don't have to be critical. I'm just gonna watch and see what happens. And I've never seen Space Jam. Yeah, I missed that boat. Never saw Space Jam. Not my thing. And so because I had to see this one, I'm like, that's fine. I'm not. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. There's some charm to it. I'm a sucker for dad movies, like like any movie that deals with the dad and their kid and how they're kind of dealing with shit in the real world or in fantasy or whatever. I'm a sucker for that because being a dad, I relate to that shit. So
yeah, I mean, I will watch it at some point. But
yeah, you will.
I mean, even I think it's probably going to be fine. I'm probably not going to hate it, and it's probably not going to be anything to really be like, it's not going to be memorable. I don't think. That's another thing about those people that are like, oh, it ruined my childhood. And it's like, well, okay, sure. If the original is better, sure, with a lot of these remakes and whatnot, but it's like once enough time passes, everyone forgets the remakes anyway. Like if the originals are that good, they're still going to stand the test of time.
Yeah.
Well, so they're essentially going to, be the only one in existence anyway. Like I was thinking about, I had totally forgotten that they remade Total Recall because the remake fucking blows. And so you just forget about it.
The remake for that, I didn't hate. I didn't like it. It was one of those ones I'm just like, it had Colin Farrell. I love Colin. He's a great guy.
I do too.
He's a great fucking guy. So there was stuff in it that I was like, yeah, it's all right. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. That was another one I'm like, I didn't have to review. So I'm like, oh, that's fine. And it's Colin. I thought he was good. There was stuff in it that was okay. But yeah, I don't think about the remake. I don't think about the Old Boy remake. I don't think about the Thing remake. Except, well, technically I do because I think of John Carpenter's. I always think The Thing. When I think John Carpenter, I think The Thing. But yeah, I mean, Halloween. I haven't forgotten about John Carpenter's after Rob Zombies.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
exactly.
Yeah. It's what's weird? Okay, I want to ask you this.
All right.
Do people like when you hear an old song, like say like you hear a song from maybe the 50s or the 60s, and hey Lindsay, she just checked in. We hardly ever look at the comments. So
screen. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I should. Yeah. But hi Lindsay. One of the things that I was thinking about is I listened to the station. I think I've talked about it here called 88.5, where they play Johnny Cash. Right. I've talked about it. So they're playing a lot of Kate Bush lately, so I was very happy. But they played Kim Carnes song from an old Kim Carnes song called Betty Davis Eyes from the 80s, and they played it in the horror movie, like horror comedy, the Final Girls. Great song. It holds up pretty well. I mean, especially for an old song. I wonder if, like, do you find it easier to listen to an old song or watch an old movie?
Like an old one that I like, or
just in general, like any old.
Honestly, an old song.
Okay.
There's a lot of like older songs that I really enjoy. So or like just like that sound. So yeah.
I wonder if it's like, because I'm the same way, because I can listen. Well, look, I watch old movies, so I watch a lot of old movies. I love old movies, but something about music, like I'll hear like a fucking, my son's gotten me into this old country stuff that I've never even heard. I'd never listened to. Somehow, my kid's discovering music from the 1930s and the 1940s, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's pretty fucking rad. I swear to God, he's like the Quentin Tarantino and the Rob Zombie of music. Like my kid, it's like he discovers this stuff. I'm like, that's a really cool song, and like,
Mhm.
who did he get me into? He got me into one of the Carter Family, some weird, cool country stuff, and I'm just like, but I can listen to that anytime. I have to be kind of in the right mood to watch an older movie, you know.
Right. Right.
But I don't know. I'm like, I've been thinking about it. Well, because I've been obsessed. I haven't stopped listening to that Brandy Carlisle song since last
Oh,
week.
okay, yeah.
I cannot, dude. I can. I'm so in love with that song. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, but I'm happy about it because it's a great fucking song. I've watched the video a million times.
Oh, I
How's
believe
your
it.
How was your week? Like, so I wanted to ask you, because I did hit you up about one thing this weekend, or this week. I think earlier I sent you the thing about the $20 concert tickets. Did you end up going to
I
any?
well, no, because I think one of the like the deals with it is that it's like while supplies last. So it's like they only have a certain
Gotcha.
amount that they're releasing for $20. And when I check, because I check for the Lamb of God show, because Lamb
Mm-hmm.
of God is still on my bucket list, and I would love to see him. And I do like Megadeth, so
Mm-hmm.
that would I'm mainly there for Lamb of God, so that's
Yeah.
just like a nice bonus. And I used to like Hate Breed once upon a time, so
Mm-hmm.
and they're all there. But there were no $20 seats left, and there were like
Oh no,
$40 seats, which aren't
that's not bad
that
though.
it's not bad, but the problem is that it's like way in the fucking back, like way in the, and it's
Oh,
like
okay.
nosebleeds is fine in a theater, but an amphitheater, especially something like 5 Point where it's like really wide, nosebleeds is like you're not even at the show. Like the
Mm.
show's up there, and you're just watching everybody else that's actually at the show. That's what that's
La.
like. So I'm like, and some people don't care about that shit. And honestly,
Mhm.
I tip my hat to those people because those people save a lot of fucking money. But I prefer to
Mhm.
be in the shit. Like I get general
Yeah.
admission if I can every time.
I think I used to be more into that. Now I'm kind of like, I'm kind of the guy that I'd rather sit. I'd rather just like sit, listen. But then again, I see a lot of chill music. I don't really, I don't. That's not true. I'm going to the Bad Religion show, but like,
Oh man,
I
that's
don't
gonna be
know.
so fun.
Dude, I can't fucking. I'm a little nervous because of stupid assholes, messing with it. I'm a little nervous. We're gonna have another lockdown. I'm a little nervous about that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm and we
Just get
because I
fucking just get fucking vaccinated.
I
That's all you gotta
know.
do.
I did
That's all
get
you
because
gotta
I did
do.
get $20 tickets. I found $15 tickets for
Whoa.
a band called Trampled by Wolves. They're a bluegrass band, and
Hmm.
they have a song called "Wait So Long." I should send it to you. I think even you would dig it because it starts off pretty fast. It's like da na 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 na. It's like kind of going and saying, and then by the end of the song, there's other like little banjos, and you're like, "Holy mother of Christ!" It's like fucking amazing. It's an
I
amazing
love
song.
banjos.
Oh,
I love banjos. And when someone does
there are
like
a
a
lot of
good banjo roll,
banjos.
like that scene from Deliverance, I used to watch that shit all the time because it's impressive and it's catchy.
Was that so? That's what you got from Deliverance.
Yeah, that's like I mean, that's the part I chose to remember the most.
Oh, right. You didn't no piggy part. You didn't get
No, no
into the
piggy
piggy.
parts. No piggy parts.
Come on,
Just
squeal
banjo
like a
parts.
pig.
Just
Squeal
banjo
like a
rolling
pig.
and scoot boot toot and fruit and
Oh my
whatever.
gosh. Yeah.
Hey,
I
let's talk
do.
about the flavor of the day.
Let's do it. I want to hear it.
So I think it's the same as last week, but I still
Probably.
have it. It's the Seth Rogen stuff. Houseplant. This is his Indica Rain Band, a cross between Triangle Kush and Animal Mints.
Mm.
So,
Somebody else tried that, dude. Like the day after we did the show, a friend of mine, Shannon, a film critic, she loves her weed, and she was like, "Oh my god, I just got Seth Rogen's that exact one," and
yeah.
I didn't remember what it was, but I was like,
Yeah, if you're a weed connoisseur and if houseplant is available in your area, which if it's not, it probably will be soon.
"Oh, it
I would
will be
highly
soon,
recommend
probably."
it because it lives up to the hype. It's very good quality stuff.
It lives up to the hype. That's true.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, did you do that one?
I rolled this by hand, son.
Oh my god, John McPhail would be so proud of you.
He would, man. He's the reason I started rolling my own
I
joint. So
know.
shout
I'm
out to
gonna have
John
to
McPhail.
tell him. I'm gonna have to tell him. We
Yeah.
should have him back
He
on again
changed my
one day.
life.
I know he did. Well, and I'm wearing, by the way, my Anna and the Apocalypse T-shirt.
There you go.
No such thing as a Hollywood ending. Ain't that the truth, motherfuckers?
Here.
Oh my god, dude! So I got to. I'm back to work with more interviews soon, and I'm excited. It's exciting to be busy again. You know,
For
like
sure.
even-
I've been quite busy myself as of late, especially this past
There you
week
go.
as well. And it's
because you're
that's what
you're
I make a
ghosting
lot
me
of
every time I text you, bitch.
I'm sorry. I joke a lot about on the show about how it's like, oh, I don't have anything going on and blah blah blah. It's like truth is, like that's just all. The truth is, I'm busy as fuck always, and
Yeah,
it
you are.
sucks. But but I like to have dinner every day, so you gotta fucking you just gotta do it. But
You gotta do
and
it.
then it's like, and then I want to like be healthy and in shape, so you got to get a gym membership, and then they're like, $200 taken away for no real reason that I can explain, and then it just adds up, man, and you got to work, and then I've been submitting some auditions as well, because most of that shit is like self-taped auditions anyway. I mean,
Yeah.
that's primarily, at least at the level that I'm at, what they were doing even before COVID. So I've been having some auditions. I've been writing a show and
What?
people. Yeah, I'm part of a team of people.
I didn't
It's
know
me,
that.
a friend of mine who's a writer, and a couple of his friends who were also writers. We were all writing a sketch show, and we're filming it ourselves. We shot some of it last week. It turned out very well, very funny. And it's when it's all said and done and we have something solid, we're going to try to sell that bitch.
Oh my gosh. Well, look at you. You are busier than I thought you
Yeah,
were.
I'm out here making moves, son.
You're making moves. Hey, well, I mean, talking about moves, there's a certain the Suicide Squad trailer playing on TV that you should really check out. I'm fucking
you haven't
excited about this.
Are you doing the junket for that? Did you already do the junket for that?
I did
do
anything. The junket. Yeah, we do.
The junket.
I did. I interviewed a few people from it, and that was.
Who all did you get to talk to?
I talked to. Can I say that? Yeah, I guess so. I talked to James Gunn. I talked to John Cena. I talked to Joel Kinnaman, Elizabeth. I talked to Joel Kinnaman.
Sick! It's hot.
Yeah, and a few others, and it was fun. It was there is sometimes the bigger movies.
You didn't get to talk to Margot Robbie?
No, I didn't. It was so
what the fuck?
man.
You were supposed to meet her and tell her about me.
I know it didn't work out. I wanted her, but they switched everyone around. Like some people got some people got other people. Hey, look at that! I got scratched by a cat. But like I will say though, like I legitimately
guess it just wasn't meant to be.
You're not. She's
Can
not
you believe
interested.
it?
She's not into you. She's not into you.
Oh my God.
And I will say Joel was amazing. He's a really super nice guy. He's a really, 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 really nice. I've interviewed him before. Really.
Elizabeth simping in chat.
I know she is. She's so excited. She wanted to know. I'm telling you this because, and you can see these interviews next week on Joe Blow. And you can see some more of my Matt Damon interview. That was a lot of fun.
That's cool.
I love Matt Damon. He's like, okay, like he's one of those actors. I think I talked about them before. It's just like
Yeah,
I interviewed him a lot, and it's like it just never seems insincere. You never feel like you're talking to
sure.
some guy who's like, "Hey, I'm on. I'm going to be really nice now." And then once you leave the room, oh my god, I fucking hated that guy.
Mhm.
Jesus Christ. I mean, look, they meet a lot of people, so I didn't talk about what I'm
It's
on.
it's funny. It's funny that like now whenever I see these like junket things, I pay more because I hear you talk about it a lot. I pay more attention to the actors. Like I was just like scrolling through Facebook and one popped up for Jungle Cruise, and you can
Mhm.
just tell that a lot of these actors are just burnt out on all that corny bullshit that they make them do, and like let's play a game, and they're like, oh my god, like you can just see it in their faces, and I notice it a lot more now.
Well, look, I mean, there's like Emily, and I will say this about both. I did not do that junket, but Emily, I've interviewed Emily before. I've interviewed The Rock or Dwayne Johnson before. Uh, they are really genuinely cool people. They're very, very, very nice, and like they're both really pleasant to talk to. And one thing I like about Dwayne Johnson, except never me, because I think I've interviewed him like twice, but I noticed he was responding to a lot of my journo buddies, like when they'd say, "Oh, we love the movie," because a lot of people really liked it. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know. But they were like, "Oh," and he was responding with really like, "Hey, so and so, that was really nice of you, thanks." And you were serious. I was like, "Good for him." There's a couple
Yeah,
people that do that.
yeah,
Dylan O'Brien did that for Love and Monsters, and it
wow.
was very. He's a love Dylan, love that guy. That guy is so fucking rad. Talk about he's one of my favorite people in the
Yeah,
world.
it's cool to like, they're not just showing love to all like the big people. That's cool.
But when we did, one, yeah, because when I used to do red carpets, I did that for a while, and like they'd always put, online stuff gets in the back, and you get all the big names in the front. And there was one time, we were waiting, waiting, waiting. Suddenly, Edgar Wright comes with his publicist looking for our people, and they did us first because that's Edgar. He's a genuinely amazing, amazing guy. He is really kind. He also knows that a lot of places like Joe Blow were very supportive of him and still are. We love Edgar Wright, so he knows that, he understands that, and a lot of them do. A lot, even James Gunn, he gets that. A lot of them are very, you know what, we know who you guys are, and we like that you are. You're not, and we're look. Joe Blow is not owned by a big corporation. We're one guy, so there's no you know bot reviews. I mean, I don't know. I don't think that happens. I really don't. I think it's more of a. I don't know, I'm sure there's some reviews that are like maybe a little bit one side or a little biased, but like in general, we are not. We our writers happen to like what they like, and that's what we write about. But like, I don't even know where the fuck I was going with this. But no, I.
Man, I couldn't tell you.
Well, it's basically the whole idea that a lot of these younger filmmakers are get the importance of the online, and I'm not saying, oh my god, what we
Mm.
do. You know what? I'm shaking the camera, aren't I? Oh my god, that was creepy.
Oh my god.
I thought it was a ghost. Look at that. See. Oh my god. But yeah, it's. I think that's a good thing, and I think that most modern filmmakers get that. They get that why people want to, why they're talking to some dude who has moviesarecool.com, or I don't know, I was gonna make up a dumb name, but I'm just not stoned enough to do it yet, so that's the problem there.
So is movies are cool a real thing?
No, I mean, it might be.
Oh, I was gonna say that's a pretty dumb
Movies.
name.
It's, of course it's a dumb name. That was the point. I don't know, it's a weird, there was a whole conversation on film. I guess there's some controversy about like the mindset of film critics when they all go see a movie and afterwards they come out and they talk about the movie that they influence each other. I don't know if it's that big of a deal. I don't think it's happens that much. I mean, look, I've gone to several fucking press screenings. You walk out, you've been to one too.
Hmm.
Sometimes you'll end up talking to your friends who are also journalists. You'll be like, "Oh my gosh, I really love that movie." Not one time has someone said to me, "Gosh, you didn't like this movie, but what about this, this, and this?" Oh, you're right. I'll change my review.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. I mean, some people say it has. I don't know. In my experiences, I haven't really seen it, but I don't know. I think we're kind of making a bit too much of a deal about it. I mean, it's just movie reviews. It's like,
It's just these people think about the movie.
yeah,
That's
it's,
all it is.
I mean, that's look. When I grew up, I watched, Siskel and Ebert, and I didn't agree with them most of the time. To be honest, they hated horror movies, man.
Mm.
They fucking hated my list. They'd be like, I would be so disappointed because I'd be like watching and they'd be like talking about a new horror movie that came out, a slasher movie, and they'd be like, "Oh, this is terrible, another Halloween wannabe ripoff," because they loved Halloween right there. But they didn't like most of the ripoffs, so they didn't like Friday the 13th. They didn't. So I'm just kind of like, well, I mean, that's not really. I don't feel like you're being honest. You're giving an honest review because it's you clearly they just don't like these movies in general, and it's like
Yeah.
Halloween stood out because it's a phenomenal movie. I mean, look,
Yeah.
but it's like you don't.
Well, it created that whole slasher genre.
Mm-hmm.
I I mean, it's like
Well, not created, but it definitely pushed it into the level of what we saw.
into
Because
what we know now.
yeah,
Yeah. It's
exactly.
like, I mean, it's like I saw this interview with Quentin Tarantino, and he was
Mm-hmm.
talking about like, what do you think about all these movies that get called like a Pulp Fiction ripoff or something like that? And he goes, well, I don't think the ripoffs. I think that I sort of created my own genre of movie,
Mm-hmm.
and those movies are just in the same genre. And I think it's just one of those cases.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and look, he didn't. His ideas aren't original either.
Yeah, I mean,
He went
no,
for the
there's no
grindhouse
such
movies.
thing as an original
Yeah,
idea.
no, no. There's like, here's the thing that I think people sometimes forget. I love Shakespeare. Not That's not what people forget. I don't know if anyone gives a fuck if I love Shakespeare, but how
Ooh,
many
Jimmy's
times?
cultured.
I know I'm totally cultured. Hey, I was in a lot. I did a lot of Shakespeare as an actor. God damn it.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I did.
Okay.
I got to even play Claudio in Much Ado About Nothing, motherfucker.
Yeah, get your little
How,
tights on.
how you like that, bitch? I wore tights
Put you
all
in
the
your little
fucking
tights.
time. I was hot in my
Yeah, they got
tights.
your tutu on there too.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, I was hot.
You're
That's why I
twirling
stabbed my
around.
foot.
Yeah, you
So
got you up there twirling around.
I was so sexy. It wasn't even funny. I was like you would have been like in awe. I mean, you would have been like, I don't care about Britney Spears no more. It's all about Jimmy O. That's what that would have been you. Because
And
you
his
and
little
to be fair,
slippers.
you are my little bitch. To be
Okay.
fair, right?
Yeah, whatever you say, tights. Sure thing, Claudio.
Hey, that was my cat's name too. I named him after that. Not because I played him, but I love Much
Oh
Ado About
man, you
Nothing.
play Claudio once and you just can't let it go.
No,
You're like, everything in
honestly,
my life is Claudio now.
it's one of my favorite plays. It's one of my favorite. I love the movie, the Kenneth Branagh movie, even with Keanu Reeves kind of not being the greatest Shakespearean actor, but like
No.
Kate Beckinsale was lovely, and she was so back when she was young, and Emma Thompson was fucking great. I love that play. I just think I think it's a very even like that's life nowadays. People make much ado about nothing all the fucking time, and it's like now we like beat each other up and scream at each other over nothing. And it's like, yeah, fucking stupid. But oh yeah, I do know where I was going with this. I'm getting stoned now for sure.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Okay, well finish your thought.
yeah, so uh, Shakespeare has been done to death, but guess what? It still works. You know,
Yeah,
people still like watching Romeo and Juliet. People still like it's the way you tell a story. Then that's what Quentin Tarantino knows. Me, you know, Quentin's like, huh, I like this movie, and I think James Gunn is the same way.
that was a pretty good impression of Quentin Tarantino.
Thank you.
That was,
I've met him a few times, so like
oh man,
I gotta you get a vibe from him. But it is. I mean, it's no, he ain't playing, man. He knows so much about movies. It's like,
that's cool.
whoa. Although I do want to brag a little bit because he did one of these fucking games on like Jimmy Kimmel or one of those, and they showed him a box cover. They show the box cover? No, I mean, they may have not even done that. They read the description of the movie from and a bunch of '80s movies and really obscure ones. Not oh, young boy meets an alien and befriends an not ET shit like that. It was very obscure stuff. I got more right than Quentin Tarantino did because I played
Okay.
along with him. I was
Uh-oh.
like, yeah. First one was Hard Bodies. You ever see Hard Bodies?
No, I've never seen Hard Bodies.
Oh, you're missing out, man. That's a classic film. They don't make Hard Bodies like they used to.
That's true. That's true.
It's kind of true, actually. But yeah, so that's my I don't know, man. I wish Quentin would make a horror movie, straight up. I would have loved to see him do like Friday the 13th.
Oh, it would have been great. It would have been
Would have been
great.
cool. Would have been
Yeah.
really. I would love to see I'm hoping we see, because we're seeing a lot of really good horror directors like with the Fear Street stuff. That she was marvelous. James Wan. You have Ari Aster. You have all these really interesting Robert Edgars from The Witch and The Lighthouse. Goddamn thoughts. Did you see The Lighthouse?
I did. That's one of the few
I love
movies
that
that
movie.
people talk about that I have seen.
That's. I'm kind of amazed that you've seen it.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Yeah.
that's a great movie.
Well, someone showed it to me. Like that's how like a lot of these like classic movies that and great movies that I've seen I've seen within the past 2 years cuz like this friend shows me she's like, "Here, have you ever seen?" She's the one who showed me Jaws, and Reservoir
Wow.
Dogs for the first time. I had never seen Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dog. That's a good one. That's a good
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, so and that's all been like recently. So,
Oh my
but The
god.
Lighthouse was one of them that she was like, "You got to see this," and I loved it. It's a
It's
great
great.
movie.
It's
Yeah.
it's one of those movies. Look, have you not seen The Witch? Then we've talked about that,
No,
right? You
I
haven't
haven't
seen,
seen The Witch.
dude. If you haven't seen The Lighthouse, if you've seen The Lighthouse, fucking watch The Witch. Like now, like when you not right the second. I mean, let's finish the show, but like honestly watch The Witch because it's basically the same idea where it's using very distinct dialogue. And The Witch specifically uses dialogue that had been written, I believe, or something. It's very true to the time. And it's just eerie as fuck. Really unsettling. Really, there's a couple of moments in that movie. It's not intensely gory, but it's like, Jesus Christ, am I seeing what I'm watching? It's just you kind of get this weird kind of sensation, and it's that Robert Eggers has a very interesting vision, and I like I'm curious to see where his career goes. I'm excited about that. He's an interesting guy to interview, but he's like it's he's a talented director, and I love The Lighthouse. A lot of people didn't. A lot of people didn't like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's great, but it's one of those like artsy fartsy kind of movies,
Yeah.
and some people don't like that, and some people just don't get it.
Yeah, it's. I still think that M Night is kind of one of those. He's an art house director trapped in a mainstream body. I really do feel that. Like I just think he's a very distinct filmmaker, and we won't go too much into that because I think we talked a lot about him last time. But like I feel like we did, at least in my memory we did. Am I
Dude,
wrong?
I saw an ad the other day on YouTube where do you know masterclass.com?
No.
So it's a website where it's like they get celebrities in like what in their field, so they get like a famous actor or like and to
Oh,
teach an
kind of.
online class. So it's like learn acting from Samuel L. Jackson,
Oh, okay, that's kind of cool.
learn cooking from Gordon Ramsay. You know, like someone that you're like, oh fuck, um. But I saw the newest one is I don't think it's specifically directing, but it's like from David Lynch. He has his own online class
That
where he
would be
talks about
so
like his
cool.
methods and like his advice. Yeah,
Oh gosh, that would be fun. I love David Lynch.
yeah,
David Lynch got me an audition once. Not
really.
because of him. Not because of him. I went to an audition. I auditioned for a movie that's I don't even know if it never got released. Maybe it got like it played in a couple of festivals and shit. But it was the audition was really weird where you walked in and they just wanted you to improv and then he just started talking to me. Bill Kellman was the director. I don't know if he's done anything since. I don't know what. Long time ago. And I was very young. And I walked in and they just and I was a very I wasn't a mainstream kid, man. I was very like I liked weird shit. If it was David Lynch, I was like, fuck yeah, man, David Lynch, man. Let's watch a David Lynch movie. I was really into that. And we started talking during the interview and I just started talking about David Lynch. And that they were like, "Oh, you like David Lynch?" I'm like, "I fucking love David Lynch." And we just started talking about Blue Velvet. We started talking about all these movies, and the guy was, I think, if I remember correctly, either they said at the interview, "Yeah, well, you got the job. We'll give you a call to give you the details or whatever. We really like you. You got the job," or they called me within a couple of hours and told me it was something like
Hmm.
that. It was a fun movie. It was a pretty good role too. I played a stoner.
Okay. So
Well before
I
my
see you're
years.
still method acting from that.
I apparently so. Apparently, I'm going back. I remember one scene I had where I was just like trying. I was like talking about man. It was about a bunch of people who start. Oh my god! It was about a bunch of people that started worshiping a fake, like a cult leader. That's what it was about.
Hmm.
It was a comedy though, and it wasn't deep. It wasn't like fucking, we weren't trying to they weren't trying to make a statement, but I'm like, it's kind of interesting. Yeah, it was just about a guy who'd started a religion so that people would give it so he could make money and shit.
Hmm.
I just
Okay.
like kind of sounds like, kind of what we're in right now. There's so many fucking I love these priests or preachers, television ministers are like, I got my yacht. I got my hundred.
Right.
I'm like,
Right.
fuck off. Fuck you. You're nothing
Dude, I
Christian.
found out that in my hometown there's like kind like that shit is kind of moving in. Like there's like they'll set up these big tents in like on like the fairgrounds
Mm-hmm.
and they'll fucking do like their sermons or whatever the fuck you call them. And they get like and it's like a young like preacher type, you know, like the Joel Osteens and they start doing their thing. And I'm like these guys have gone mobile. Hello, Jimmy. I think you froze up. Things are happening. Fuck. Yeah. Nah. Fuck is right. Fuck is right, Jimmy. Well. Oh shit. So it appears that Jimmy's computer blew up on us. So you know, this might be a good time to talk to you guys about a little something. Okay. All right, we're working on it. It's a little book that I purchased. Well, I didn't purchase it. They had this deal where at the dispensary, if you spent like $40 at least, which is very easy to spend at a dispensary, they give you a free book. And this is like a free, it's called Please Use This Journal While You Are High. It's a creative thinking journal that is meant, it was made in mind that you're supposed to be high, preferably at least, while you use it. So on the back it says, this guided journal will change the way you think about thinking. Why? Because creative thinking is a competitive edge that separates the good from the great in all aspects of life. It's filled with fun and shareable creative challenges meant to spark the imagination. Each challenge pushes you to rethink the way you see yourself and the world around you to uncover new possibilities and ideas. You don't have to be high on cannabis to use this journal, though we encourage it as a way to enhance creative flow. You can also try meditation, exercise, music, nature, math, love, religion, sex, fasting, sleep, play, yoga, mysticism, aromatherapy, poetry, baths, dancing, magnets, and space travel. I don't know what the fuck it's talking about anymore, but here's so yeah, it's just like, it's like a little activity book to use while you're high. So it has little things in here like okay, this one's called Horrible Poem. The exercise, so yeah, it's like little exercises, and then it kind of gives you a description as to like why this exercise is good. So the exercise is write a 5-line poem that is purposefully terrible with whatever format or style you choose. Just try to make it the very opposite of what you or others might think is good. So you have to intentionally write a dog shit poem. And then it gives you a couple examples, and then it gives you a little space on the next page to fill out your horrible poem. Now, why are we doing this? Judgment is the number one killer of creativity. On the other hand, freeing yourself from judgment is rocket fuel for the imagination. It is a healthy act of creative imagination to abandon any self-censorship completely and to just create impulsively, even going so far as creating something purposefully bad. And you might find that something good comes out of it. I mean, am I right? That's fucking crazy. So you think of a shitty idea to sort of think outside of the box on purpose. I was going to share that with Jimmy, but then the funniest thing happened. Well, I mean, shit, dude, it's just me. Should I read some more out of the should I read some more? I guess so. What the fuck else are we going to do? It's just us. It's just us, my babies. It's all good. Fuck it. Let's open this, please. I mean, I am high, so it's not like okay. Let me find a good one. Some of these are kind of hard to. What the fuck? Okay. So this one's called Close Encounters. Okay. So this is the exercise. The exercise is last night you traveled to a distant planet. All right. Okay. And on that planet you saw a creature. None of its features resembled anything human-like. It was truly an out-of-this-world experience. Describe and draw a picture of your new otherworldly friend. And then it gives you like a fucking, like a wanted poster of your thing that you created. Now, why are we doing this? Because even when we are free to use our imagination, we tap. Dude, I thought it said we fap. Or, you know, you could do that too. I'll start over. Even when we are free to use our imagination, we tap into a phenomenon called structured imagination. In short, our imaginary world becomes based on existing concepts, categories, and stereotypes that we already have. When asked to think of a creature on another planet, most people draw pictures resembling life as we know it. It's a good point because I've always thought about that. You know, like the stereotypical like alien thing of like the like the short, skinny bodies and like the big green heads and shit. I'm like that's too, but that's too human like. It's too human. There's no way aliens look like that. I mean, I guess maybe, but like, it's too human like. So it's just it's like it's so obvious that they're just pulling. It's like what it's saying. It's based on you're creating this based on what you know, and what you know primarily is humans. So it has fucking 2 arms and 2 legs. It's ridiculous. I call fucking shenanigans. It goes on. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, with like the eyes and the ear. It's all It's all, everything's like, but life forms on other planets could differ wildly and fundamentally from that found on Earth. Coming up with such a creature without resembling a human is a true act of creative imagination. I would agree. Dude, if I had a new creature, I'd name it. If I found like a creature that no one else found, I'd call it a fucking Sloggledorf. This is the fucking Sloggledorf. Then I'd copyright the name. That way, all these like science books in high schools that have the Floggledorf or whatever the fuck I just called it, like it's like they gotta fucking pay up, dude. The word's copyrighted, but you gotta educate people about it. No. I'm not gonna show that. Let's find some shit, dude. Okay, creative excuses. Let's do this one. I think Jimmy's still trying to. He's still working shit out. That's all right. Look, we're chilling. So this is creative excuses. This is the exercise. Rules are meant to be broken, especially when it comes to creativity. Come up with 3 believable, airtight, and unusual excuses for each given situation. Why? Sometimes creative performance and dishonest behavior run a parallel track. That's not to say that creative people are immoral when they take this approach. It's more that sometimes being creative involves explorations outside of what we deem acceptable truths. This exercise simulates a task that people confront in real life, fabricating excuses, not because they're malicious or greedy, but because they're avoiding punishment or shame. Something I do constantly, dude. Okay? You can harness the creative
This is
abilities
lovely.
needed to
I'm
do this well, excuse me, for artistic purposes, and the process builds focused creativity. So here's something that you could come up with a creative excuse for: losing someone's dog while walking it, which would be the fucking worst, by the way. I fucking he ran off. He saw something, the leash slipped, but that's not really airtight because then it's like, well, why didn't you have a tighter grip on the leash? Like, why is it able to just fucking slip out? You know, that's ridiculous. So I don't know what losing someone's dog while walking it. Um, okay, so he got into a fight with another dog because there was someone walking their dog that didn't have a leash. It didn't have a leash, right? And it just it ran up on the dog that I was walking. They started getting into it, like really getting into it, you know. And so I got in the middle of it. And I was just, it was like a big scuffle, and the leash must have slipped, and he ran away because he was scared from the fight, and he ran away. And I tried to chase him, Dude, that's one. They fucking got it. They don't need to know shit.
That I wish I would have heard more of that, but my computer just completely shit itself and died on me. It's going on, it's turning on, but it got too hot, apparently.
Damn.
God
That's all
damn it!
right.
That
You know what?
we're back. I'm
The
back
wheels just
now.
kept turning, dude. We kept the
You
shit.
did
We
it.
kept that motherfucker rolling.
I was moved. I was moved. I was like, what I did here when I kept coming back, I hate. I'm so sorry that I'm like all skinny and well, I'm not that skinny, but it's all fucking like this. But that's the
Look,
way it looks with my phone, so I'm just going to deal with it. We're gonna. I hope you guys are okay with this. That's
look.
why. Are you okay with this, Justin? That's what
I'm
I
fine
care
with it.
about.
I'm fine with it.
Good.
I was just gonna say,
Good.
look, despite um despite my appearances, possibly, yo, you your boy's a fucking professional.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you are.
Your boy's a
You
damn
are.
professional.
Yeah, you
Okay,
are. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed.
thank you.
It's
I was like,
funny.
I was just gonna like show you this book and like maybe read one example from it, but I'm like, fuck it, this is the show now because this is
Oh
all I
my
can
God.
think. This is all I can focus on. But you know what?
I
We made it work. Did some
yeah,
riffing. You know, it was good.
and I'm back. You seem really super high, which is lovely. So that makes me happy.
Yeah, dude, you really left at a bad time.
I seriously, man. Like
But you know what, dude? You know what,
What?
dude? Luckily, guess what? Luckily,
What?
guess what?
I'm back.
You boys, a fucking professional. Okay.
You are a professional. I'm very
Despite
proud of you.
fuck what you heard, I'm a professional. Okay. And we kept that motherfucker rolling.
We did. We did. You
And
did.
that's what we
I'm very.
fucking do, dude.
I'm very happy with you. I'm very happy with it. I know it's. I'm glad you did. You know what the funny thing is though? I knew you would. I knew you would. That's why, because I wasn't gonna go. That's why I was like, "Fucking okay, guys, hold on. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing." Look, I've been doing this a lot. I've been doing this shit, like Zoom shit, for a long time now. This happens all the fucking time. Like someone will be even on the actor's side. They'll be having that so suddenly like oh yeah, this is just a two. We just need you for like 20 minutes or whatever. It ends up being an hour and a half because fucking service gives out or whatever. That shit happens. You can't avoid that in this day and age, especially so much of shit's happening on Zoom. But the fact that, and I was like, but once it went out, I was like, I think my boy is gonna keep it going. I'm just gonna keep trying, and then yes, I'm on the phone. I feel good. I'm happy. I'm very happy that you. How much of that did you fucking read?
I read like what, like fucking like three or four little exercises from
Okay.
it.
What the fuck? What book was this that you're reading? Tell
Oh
me
yeah,
what
that's
you're
right. You
reading.
didn't see that part. All right, so check it out. It's called the for anyone else who wasn't listening, which how dare you?
I
Um,
know.
so this is something the same weed store that has the Seth Rogen stuff. They had
Uh-huh.
this deal where if you spent at least $40, they gave you this book for free, and this book is called "Please Use This Journal While You Are High."
Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
So it's basically, it says here, this guided journal will change the way you think about thinking, because creative
Hmm.
thinking is a competitive edge. It separates the great from the. It's basically a book full of like these creative challenges that you're
Hmm.
supposed to partake in. Using your high brain, because the idea being that weed sort of allows you access to this creativity, or at least that's how
Hmm.
certainly a lot of people perceive it. That's a lot of people's experience with it. So it's like a
Yeah.
whole interactive little journal and challenge book that has these little exercises that make you think.
Oh my gosh. You know what, that's it. I want to check that out. We need to hang out. Now I want to see the book.
I'm pretty sure this book is like everywhere.
I don't want to go anywhere.
It's
I
probably like
just
at
want.
Target or some shit.
No, I don't want to go there, man. I don't want to
Here,
go
let
anywhere.
me find something. I'll find something just for you. I'll find
Just
something
for
just for
me, I'm
you.
excited. I'm. Is
Let's
this like a
read.
game?
Let's
Do
read.
we like
Check this out. It says "fuck your doubts." Fuck yeah, dude. It's super
fuck your
hardcore.
doubt? Yeah,
Fuck your doubts. Fuck your doubt debits. So
fuck your dubits.
okay. So check this out. This is one of the activities. Okay, here we go. Check it
Okay,
out.
let's
Here
do
it
it.
comes. It says, "Why are these people protesting?" And as you can see, it's a picture of people protesting with blank signs. I
Uh huh.
think we know where this is going. Okay, so
Oh
this is the
god.
exercise. It's called concise complaints. Why are these people protesting? Restore our faith in complaints by imagining what these people are objecting to and giving them an attention grabbing sign. Feel free to use metaphors or similes to add color. But remember, nobody likes an overly wordy protest sign. So, now, why are we doing this? Because complaining is one of the top creative outlets for unsatisfied people. Real life often seems full of things you can't change. With verbal creativity, you can obtain more of a feeling of control over things that frustrate you. By exercising your own descriptive spin to create a beautiful colloquial language out of something negative, it challenges your creative focus. Okay?
See,
So,
this is Justin reading this because he's like, God damn it, I'm staying professional. This asshole's disappearing. I'm gonna show him. We're gonna do something professional. The
no,
complaint.
but yeah, but like no, that's what I mean. So it's like you're supposed to come up like first of all, what are they protesting about, and come
Uh-huh.
up with like a clever, like there's always those signs in protests where you see it and you're like,
Hmm.
that's fucking good, like that's good, it's clever, it's
Hmm.
witty, whatever it is. So it challenges you to come up with um that for a protest that's like that the subject is up to you as well. It's total creative
Hmm.
liberty, but it's it challenges you to be creative and clever. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's I
I don't know if
haven't
I'd want to do
started.
it though. That'd be weird. It's a good idea though. I get what.
Yeah, I
Well, although
haven't
that
used it
one,
yet, but
yeah,
like it honestly sounds fun. I mean,
yeah.
it sounds like it makes you think maybe sometimes a little too hard. Like I'm not trying to work,
Hmm.
you know. I don't want to work while I'm high, but
Hmm.
I do like the idea of it, and it is cool. So
See, the thing is, I've tried to write reviews and stuff when I'm high, and it's I I sometimes can come up with some cool stuff, but it's ne I can't really do it. I can't really do it because I always have to I always have to go like the next morning and go, look, there's some good I'll be like reviewing my own stuff. There's some good ideas, but God, ew, it's terrible. What the fuck did you just write? I can't because then you kind of get, but the ideas are there. So what I usually do is take notes. Like if I have an idea or something that like this show, this fucking show, like the fucking we had just talked, and I was like, I have an idea. Oh yeah, I was stoned as hell. I texted you. I gotta tell you, I think I just texted you that night that I wanted to. Oh no, maybe I waited till the morning because I didn't want to freak you out. But I was like, I texted myself to go talk to Justin about doing this show. See, that's where this show came from.
so you never got to mention where like what your flavor of the day is. Which by the way, you know how
Yeah.
I was like I'm gonna come up with like a name for it, and I was like, it's time for what's my smoke or whatever. Like I was
What's
like I
my
want to come up with I want to come up with a
weed is not
catchy
helping with that.
name for this segment. Yeah, I think flavor of the day is it. I think that's it.
Flavor of the
That,
day. I'm good with that. Flavor of the
yeah.
day. I am still at I went again with fruit. That is my little gummy thing. These things are really tasty. Like they taste just like candy, and they're cheap as fuck. I mean, they're real for weed. They are cheap. But I took one of those though, and I took a sativa, which is unusual. I don't always take a sativa, but I took a sativa because I also had a little bit of that liquid gold that I had, that 1,000 milligram. I took a little bit of
Oh
that,
shit. You
not
love that
400
now.
milligrams,
Man, you
dude.
fucking OD'd on it. Now you're addicted.
I OD'd. I've. It was a weird thing ODing on weed, and it was like, and I knew I was okay. I knew I was gonna be fine. I knew it wasn't like gonna, because I had a fucking big knockdown fight with someone. Not fight, but like with disagreement. They were like, "No, you can get addicted to weed, and it's addictive, and blah blah." And it's all these things that they say. Really, it's not. And it was just like I was trying to go, well, if you look, you can look in this information. She's like, no, CDC says this. I'm like, I think you're reading it the way they're reading it was like, I don't think you're getting what they're trying to say. It was like because there was something like, oh, if you're younger, maybe you can't use a lot of it. Don't go crazy on it or something like that. I don't know. But and they read it as, oh, see, you can't have a lot of it or else you'll go crazy. They forgot about the age part. And that drives
Yeah,
me
you don't.
crazy.
It's really not. I That is one thing that I have heard is that like weed is fine, but you don't want to really be using it during your formative years. Like your
Hmm.
so
I think
yeah,
that it's just. I mean, the thing about that though, that's why you can't buy alcohol until you're 21. There's a reason. I think some of the reasons are stupid. I don't think you. I find it odd that you can go to war for this country, but you
yeah,
can't drink. That's bizarre to me. Like that doesn't make sense at all.
no, no, no.
Makes no sense. Oh my fucking god. Now I'm
Oh
getting
man,
high.
I would like to take this time to point out that during the text exchange during our technical difficulties,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
What did I do?
this is a classic, dude. It auto corrected to ducking. That's the best. You're like, I
Why
need to
do
get
you...
a fan. I need to get a fan or something to keep this ducking machine cool with this heat. That's the
Yeah.
fucking best, dude.
And it pisses me off. And here's the thing, I was going to
Goddamn
change
ducking
it.
machines.
I was going to fucking change I was going to duck and change that. But I mean maybe we should just change it to ducking. Could you imagine like movies like don't you duck with me, you mother ducker? I like it.
It'd be, it'd be silly.
It would
Yeah.
be funny if they did it in like if they bear with me. I got an idea. This is a good idea. I think this is a really good idea. Let's bring back Howard the Duck. Let's make a new Howard the Duck. I think they've talked about it. I know he's done like more comics, so I think he's still a viable thing. Make a new Howard the Duck. Leah Thompson has to be a cameo because she's still adorable, and then we have him just change every like he swears all the time, but he says duck. That'd be fucking
You know
hilarious.
what? That's something that like I could almost see happening because if you remember, there's one of those Marvel movies. I, I couldn't tell you which one, but
I
like the
could. Which
post
one?
the post credit scene had Howard the Duck in it.
Oh yeah, it was I want to say it was one of the Thor movies, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, something. But yeah,
Yeah.
maybe I think maybe you're right. But so he's canon in the Marvel universe, so they
Hmm.
could bring him
Yeah.
back, and I could see them absolutely doing some cringy shit like that with them.
Howard the Duck. Ain't no way to conceal it. Howard. I don't know if that's the lyrics to the song, but I know that. I mean, it's the song from the movie. I've seen the movie a couple times. I enjoy the movie because, gosh darn it, Leah Thompson is adorable. If there's anything you can get from this show, Leah Thompson is adorable. She
And
is.
that if you haven't already, you should watch Bo Burnham's Inside, dude. It's
I
so
still need to watch it. I
you
still need.
really,
I'm
really
so
do.
sorry.
Honestly, you would love it. It's so fucking good, dude. And I watched it
Yeah.
again. It's my third time watching it because I told you about my
Wow.
theater experience with it, and I was like,
Yeah.
I kind of want like a palate cleanser. So I smoked some weed. I took some mushrooms, and I watched it here at home, and
Oh,
it was great, dude. You get to
you're
really
really
just
getting into those
experience it.
mushrooms.
Not really.
Okay.
That was like the one of the few times that I had done it. It was fine.
Oh, cool.
Um, but but no, it's so good, and I love it so much. So, and you should absolutely see it
Can
if you
I
haven't.
can I tell you? And I don't. I don't know. This sounds so weird, and I'm definitely overthinking it. I'm so like I really want to watch it. I really do, and I just find myself every time I get think of I want to watch. I watch just I don't watch a lot of TV at all, and I watch a lot of movies because that's how I have to. So I think like when I just don't want to watch anything lately. Like I'm just like I don't want to sit, especially
Yeah,
like a TV show or a but and I feel like that and look, I've heard nothing but raves about this. I've heard nothing but like one of I'm sure he's going to win an Emmy. If it will win an Emmy, a few Emmys probably, because I hear it's that good from what I'm hearing. But it's like I just don't find myself like that's something I'm going to have to pay attention to. Like that's what I'm going to have to watch and take in, and I'll probably love it. Probably love it. I will get there. I will get there. It is something that is one of the few that's on my list. There's other movies that I missed that I'm like, yeah, I don't need to watch it, but I do want to watch it. I do like him, and I'm curious, and I know so many people like you know what the other one is that everyone raves about Ted Lasso. I know nothing about the
oh
show,
yeah, I've heard that too.
dude.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like I'm excited for you to watch it, not just because it's
Hmm.
so good, but because you haven't seen like a Bo Burnham special before.
No,
So you
no.
haven't really seen like what he does and like what he's known for. And um this, even though in previous specials a lot of it is like stage props and little gags on stage, he does a
Hmm.
terrific job of doing it in the confines of his studio. Um but
So weird.
it's like it's still an accurate portrayal of like what he does. It's like
Mm,
he perfectly carried his like type of show into his home.
mm.
It's very very well done, and like I've been following Bo Burnham since like the beginning, like the
I
YouTube
know you
days,
have.
and
Hmm.
it's still like it's not like a baity thing for awards or anything. Like he's not trying to step out of his box. It feels like another Bo Burnham special. It just happens to be very introspective and like he just keeps getting better. Like that's what it is. Like every special of his that's come out, I'm like, oh wow, he outdid himself, and he just continues to do it.
It sounds to me like he just final look. He just came off of a couple pretty decent successes. Eighth Grade was a very popular indie film and it won a lot of awards. And it's a I think you haven't seen that one, right?
I haven't. I meant to. It was like another
Dude,
one that I was
it's
like,
that one, if you like him, you should see it. It's a fantastically directed film. It's beautiful. I think he wrote it too, if I remember correctly. And then of course he was fucking great in Promising Young Woman. I was actually bummed that he didn't get an Oscar nomination for that. I think he was really good. Yeah, maybe not Oscar nomination, but whatever. But I think this movie is and with the most importantly with the pandemic, he figured out a way to not to not that's kind of what Brandy did with her live shows with this album that she's kind of coming out with. She really kind of tried to learn from the experience, and I think that's what Bo Burnham did is learn from this whatever we've been through and fuck, if you're going to live through it, you might as well make something out of it. And I think it's cool and it's admirable. And I love that he did. And I guess it's just one of those things I'm almost like fucking mentally preparing myself for. I don't know why. I don't, because I'm not even that big of a fan. I don't know him like you do. And I don't,
mm-hmm.
so I'm not, I'm not there yet, but I'm like, I do want to watch it. I almost, you know what it is? Fuck, I just figured out. See, you're so smart when you're on weed. I know why I don't want to. I'm a little hesitant to watch it. I'm have a feeling. What if I don't like it? What if I hate it? And then I'll be like,
You're like scared that you won't like it.
yeah, I think in a way I am. I mean, I'm thinking about it right now, like as we speak, and I'm like, gosh, there's been times that I've seen a movie that or I've been the one that said, "Oh my God, this movie is amazing," and then someone goes, "See, are you fucking kidding me? You like that
I
shit?
yeah. Well,
Like Wonder
I
Woman
think
1984?
I
I
mean,
love that movie."
knowing you as I do,
Mhm.
I think that you will like it.
I think I will too. I'm gonna watch it. I'm watching it for you, just for you. No one else. No, you're not the only person that's recommended it, but you, knowing you, yeah, I feel like it's something that I feel like I will. I almost feel like it's going to be, and that leads me to my other fear. Like I'm going to be too emotional because I hear it's super emotional, which is weird. And I'm
I
like,
mean, it kinda is.
did you cry?
No,
Did you
it
cry a
was
little bit?
there is a shade of like depression to it, just because it's like
Mm.
you're you're reminded of your horrible time during COVID. You know, it's like it's a very you're basically seeing him experience it, and you just can
Mm.
relate. It just looks familiar. It's almost like you're like triggered by it. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's. I feel like yeah, I want to see that. I want to watch it, and I will do it. I'm not there yet. And then maybe a part of it's too that we're still in it. Maybe a part of it that I'm like, I just don't want to be reminded of it. I don't want to be reminded that that's, especially visually speaking. I don't want to.
Yeah, but dude, those songs are catchy as fuck, and you're gonna be singing them for sure.
Did they release a soundtrack or?
It's
I'm
on
sure. I'm sure.
Spotify.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm
He,
sure it's on everything else too, but yeah, he has an album of it.
okay. Okay. Like, is it a full? Is it a concert album or just the songs?
It's just the songs.
Oh,
Yeah,
so it's a
yeah. I
soundtrack.
mean,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Because I mean, it's like there's a whole show behind it, and there's like kind of like behind the scenes stuff, like
Hmm.
weaved in with it. You know, it's like a whole production. But yeah, he has like just the songs available.
Okay. I don't know, man. You've hyped it up. Like you've hyped it up. I'm gonna be like, really? This is it? No, I don't know. I'm
Nah,
excited to watch
you'll
it.
love it.
It's like I don't know, man. I'm
I
like I
think
want to
you would.
watch it
I
soon.
think you would appreciate his sense of humor.
Mm, yeah, yeah. I think so. Probably. Hopefully. I think you're right. I know I'm going to like it. I know. I think probably everyone else is out. That's it's weird, like not being in on the trends in a weird way. Like not.
Yeah, it's honestly weird to see um him like this blow up as much as it
Yeah.
has. Because like for me, it's like, oh, it's Bo Burnham's newest special. Of course, I'll see it. And then it's like he's gonna win an Emmy for it, and you're like, oh my god. Like, I mean,
Mm.
it deserves that for sure. But yeah, it's strange. But I good for him. He deserves all the credit that he gets because he's very talented.
Yeah. Although Emmys are such a weird thing. Oscars are such a weird thing. All awards. I did look. I'm part of an award ceremony. We've talked about this. Award ceremonies are weird to me. Emmys are especially weird because I don't watch TV. So like
Mm.
I'll hear about so and so one got a bunch of Emmys. I'll be like, I no idea what that show is. No idea what it's about, no idea. Unless it's Impractical Jokers or that the one that with the guy that you like.
Backyard Bar Wars.
Back. I don't like. Can I don't like that show. I
That's
don't.
fine.
Well,
I've never watched the show. I just love Chris Stefano. He's a funny guy, at
here's the
least.
thing. No, but here's the thing. He's keeping me watching it. He like
There
I
you go.
don't mind watching it because the pro the show's fine. Like they're but they pick two people and they quote unquote have to build a bar in their backyard or whatever, which obviously the title. So they do this thing, they make it spacey. They make it look like a shag lounge was one episode. And here's the thing, and this drives me crazy. They do this on a couple of shows on True TV. They're like, "Oh,
suddenly we're filming at a party in this documentary, and all these people are just hanging out, and you're like, yeah. They were literally, you do lighting, you do this, you do that. You have to set up the sound. They're not hanging out. They're fucking actors.
Right.
They're act.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like, guys, just. It's almost like. I mean, even if they're not actors, they're. It's so staged. It's
It's cool
so
to it's funny to
staged.
see ads and shit like that. And meanwhile, like you've auditioned for shit like that, and you're like,
Hmm.
and it's like a car commercial, and it's like a bunch of people at a dealership, and they're like, these are real people, not actors, and you're like, get the fuck out of here. They're all
Yeah.
always actors.
Yeah, it's, I mean, I think the reason I kind of like Impractical Jokers is that clearly the people they're going after aren't in on the joke. Even that, and my thing is like when Joe's literally throwing himself on tables in a restaurant. I keep thinking, well, they got to tell them something. So they probably tell them like, hey, we're just filming a little funny thing here, just in case there might be something. They might tell the people that have the tables that are going to collapse. By the way, please keep this, don't tell anyone. Please sign. These tables is going to collapse. Some guy's going to jump on this table, just so you
Mhm.
know. Or they may say something like that, but it doesn't feel as stagey to me. It doesn't, when they're on the
Yeah.
street, when they're doing it
Yeah,
doesn't
I
feel
mean,
stagey.
I haven't watched Backyard Bar Wars, but based on like the clips of it that I've seen, it looks like it's just like another one of those like generic type of like DIY type of shows, but
Yeah.
like the only thing entertaining about it is Chris Stefano.
And
Because like
he's in
everybody, it just seems like everybody else is all business, and he's like the only funny part.
well, no, the problem is they try to be funny. They get these guys and like, hey, I'm just your average Joe, but I'm gonna get creative because I'm the party king. Yeah. You're just like, no, no, just stop, please,
Yeah,
just don't. And DeStefano,
Stefano.
Chris. I'll just call
Yeah,
him Chris. I
yeah, that's
can't say
fine.
that right now. He's pretty funny. And when they're having the conversations, it's like, guys, this is so scripted. I mean, this is
Yeah, dude,
his stuff is scripted. All of it's scripted.
it's so funny to watch him talk about it on his podcast because like you can tell that this is just like he kind of doesn't really care about the show, like because he's more
Really?
focused on his comedy career and his podcasting and and I think that getting a show at True TV was just kind of like a great way for exposure, you
Mm,
know.
yeah.
And he is a genuinely funny person. I saw him live like a couple weeks
Yeah.
ago.
I know you did. We
Yeah.
talked about it. Yeah,
Oh
man.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, he's fucking hilarious. He's one of my favorites right now.
He's
Um,
he's he's very funny. Look, I think he's very smart to do that show because it does, that channel, just because of the Jokers, there's a lot of people that watch that show. And
yeah,
there's people like me that will watch all the shit because I just don't want to change the channel.
yeah,
So,
and like him and Sal are close friends in real life.
yeah. Well,
So I
isn't
think
that the podcast? He does it with him, right?
yeah, yeah, and it's like he has one that he does by himself as well. But he
Oh,
has
okay.
so they did a bunch of like cross promotion stuff with that and Impractical Jokers. So like all of the Impractical Jokers audience saw something about the show.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's
Yeah. I
cool.
mean,
I saw this thing where one of the bars on that show like
uh,
already got robbed.
oh
And you
shit.
know the best part? It was here in Van Nuys.
Well, that's not surprising at all. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean that I know exactly yeah, I think I remember the Van Nuys episode. I've seen them all, so I just I'm just so I just like the TV on as a radio, man. That's so I
Yeah.
usually watch that station. So I don't know, like it takes me like 20,000 times to actually know what's going on in the show because I'm just not paying attention. So I'll be like, oh, that's why they did that? Okay. But that show I have watched. I've actually watched. But I don't know, man. I like him. He's funny. He's a funny guy. You like some funny guys. You have
Thanks,
decent
man.
taste, I guess.
I have exquisite taste.
I mean, I don't know about exquisite's a big word, and it's a lovely word. It's a really exquisite is exquisite. The word is absolutely exquisite.
It is
Yeah, your taste.
exquisite.
Anyway, so yeah, so what? Oh shit! I've got to tell you something. So I had the weirdest experience, and I think there's something in the water at Vaughn's.
Hmm.
I think there's something at the water. People have been randomly coming up and talking to me. I feel like it's some kind of fucking like zombie movie or something like Prince of Darkness. Did you see Prince of Darkness?
Hmm.
Oh fuck. So it's Alice Cooper running around with a fucking oh, with like killing people and all this shit and
Hmm.
man, it's been crazy. But I do think I think I'm pretty good. I'm tired and I want to I'm pretty stoned. How about you?
Yeah. No, me too, for sure.
Well, thank you for you were a pro tonight, and this is why I do the show with you because I know you, I have faith in you. So thank you for
Thank you.
keeping
I
it running.
appreciate that.
No, it's legit. I appreciate it, man. But yeah, Justin, where can people find you outside of this?
Well, you can primarily find me on Instagram at JustinButts94. You can also find me on Twitter at Justin_Butts94. That's pretty. I mean, that's pretty much it. There's some other things I could say, but like, I mean, let's be real. That's where it's at. So, how about you, Jimmy?
Of course, Jimmy Theo on Twitter, James Oster on Facebook, and Instagram. I think I'm James Oster. Of course, JoeBlow.com, AaronTheHead.com. We Live Entertainment, a trailer for Suicide Squad.
There you
I'm
go,
sorry.
dude.
I'm geeking out.
You technically have screen time with Idris Elba and John Cena.
I know I do. It's really rad. Woo! I'm so excited. And of course, my other show, we do have an episode coming soon of Sound Scary, I promise you, and it's a fucking good one. I'm really excited about it. And you are in it. You are in it. So there you go.
I'm in it.
Yeah, it's Mad Max, baby.
Oh shit!
Yeah, we got the real thing. It looks amazing.
Damn,
It's
that
gonna be
took a
amazing.
while to come out.
Yeah, we had a break, but hey guys, thanks for joining us. Um,
Thank
you
you.
guys were all awesome, and thank you for putting up with me disappearing and this lovely man reading a book.
Thank you all, and we'll see you next week.
Next week.